Alright, well, greetings everyone and welcome to another video. Today I am down here in the Pottstown area, actually in Chester County, more specifically in the little village or town of Parkerford. And I am down here doing something that I wanted to check out for a while, but couldn't because there actually really wasn't a trail or anything here, and now there is. So I am down here at the Parkerford trailhead of the Schuylkill River Trail, and this is a new section of trail that was just opened up recently this spring. They completed the this section of the trail from Parkerford all the way up to Route 422, where they built a new bridge going over the Schuylkill River, and they actually extended this trail. It's about 4 miles from here up to that bridge. This is going to be taking us very close to the little village of Frix, which was a village located along the Schuylkill Canal, and there was also a lock there, hence the name Frix. If you saw my other videos, I was down in this area a while ago. In fact, I was down here twice and filmed an area known as the Sanatoga Preserve, which was one of the locations for the desilting basins that they had along the Schuylkill River to remove the coal silt from the river back in the day. So I am not alone today. RJ is with me, and we are going to be venturing on this trail on our electric scooters. And yes, I just purchased an electric scooter recently, jumped on the bandwagon with some of my other fellow YouTube friends there, and picked one of them up. So this is going to be my first time riding it. It's going to be a 4-mile drive for us from here out to Route 422 and back. So again, we're going to pass through the little village of Frix, and we're also going to pass through an area that I filmed previously also, and that was Towpath Park. It runs right through that park now and everything. So this should be a pretty good day. Nice and sunny with a nice little breeze going. Beautiful September day here. So we're going to get these cameras mounted here and get started. Alright, so this is the parking area where the at the trailhead, and I'm going to put a picture up here, but right around in this area here somewhere was the Parkerford depot for the Pennsylvania Railroad. I believe the last known photograph, aerial photograph of it that we found was, what, 1951, RJ? 1951, because it, yeah, there's the man of the hour again getting his act together.
Organizing my mess.
Yeah, his mess. He's a mess. But anyway, the rail trail is right here, and this goes all the way down into Spring City, all the way down towards King of Prussia. So you saw our other videos that we did, sections of it. When this is completed, whenever that may be, it's going to be a nice long riding trail all the way from Philadelphia up to Pottsville in Schuylkill County. But somewhere in this area over here was where the depot was located, and they just paved the parking lot here either late last year or early this spring, because this used to be all gravel here. But the trail continues on out that way, and of course in the back, what you can't see is the Limerick nuclear power plant, but you might see that in the video as we're driving along.
Which my grandfather had a hand in helping build that place.
Yes, your grandfather had a hand in helping to build that, and my father also had a hand in building that. In fact, my father was an electrician, and he wired the Unit 1 reactor there. So alright, we're going to get mounted here and quit talking and get to riding.
had stonework underneath.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, they put concrete right
Now that's not where the canal is yet.
No,
Where it
just like culverts for the track.
where it bends up here, it's going to bend to the.
Ooh, that looks old.
Yeah, it's an old power line. I'll have to check that out. Where it's going to dogleg to the left up here, straight ahead is where that bridge should be in the woods.
Yeah, those are definitely old.
Oh yeah, we got to check these out. Oh, these. All right, so we're making our way down the canal here, or down the trail rather. Didn't get to the canal part yet, but we saw some old bridges back there that we crossed over that are original because there was stonework underneath. But we came across these things here. These are real old power lines here, and they go across up in there, and where they turn into standard regular electric poles, where they wooden poles there. But I've seen these before when I was up and walking through the woods behind the Towpath park there. I saw these, which we'll probably see again once we get up there. But up in the distance there, I believe the trail is going to take a turn to the left, and that's when it's going to start following the old Schuylkill Canal. And that bridge I'm looking for should be right up straight ahead there in the woods. So hopefully we'll be able to get to it and check it out and see if it's actually there yet. All right, so we're venturing down the trail more, and we're standing under these high tension lines that come out of the Limerick nuclear power plant. You can hear the electricity going through them, the clicking and everything. But we came across these right here, which I didn't think there was any roads back here, but RJ brought it up on his phone. We went back to some old photos from the 50s and 60s. And what this was a bridge that went across what was the railroad here, which went into Frix Lock. And Frix Lock is going to be just up there a little bit, where the next trailhead is, I believe. But yeah, this was an old road that was here to go into the village of Frix Lock, and we checked it, and 68 was the last time the bridge was here. By 1971 it was gone already. But
You can see they started construction on Limerick in 71.
actually it started in 69 when they started construction for the power plant. Right.
71
Limerick, right. Limerick power plant started construction in 1969, so that's when Frix Lock was taken over by eminent domain to build that power plant over there on the other side of the river. But they didn't destroy the village. Like I said, it's still there, and we're going to see if we can get into it now, because RJ was saying that he saw that they give tours or something like that now once a month. The last time I was there and just looked at it, it was heavily posted and it was part of the power plant property, and you do not want to get caught trespassing on nuclear power plant property. You will be in serious trouble. All right, so just looking at these high tension lines here, and since my father was an electrician and worked on lines like this in his career, if you want to know how much volt is going through a line, you count the insulators. So every insulator is for 5,000 volts. So do the math on that if you can see the insulators and count them, and that'll tell you how many volts are going through those lines. And like I said, this line here for sure I know is 550,000 volts running through it. So, but this line here, like I said, do the math, count the insulators. Each insulator is 5,000 volts. All right, so I made it up top here, and there you can see the pillar over there where the road would have went across and turned over into Frix lock, which is right over there. And then in the back there you can see one of the substations for the power plant. I did walk up the trail, and basically the trail that comes down, they're riding four-wheelers or all-terrain vehicles and going down and going across over in that field. But I did look up top there. It does go on to somebody's property up there, so I didn't want to venture up too far, but there is macadam up there, but since the road's abandoned, it got turned over to the property owner, so they have a bunch of stuff, a bunch of junk laying up there and chickens roaming around, so I really didn't want to venture up there. But yes, this was an old macadam road at one time that went into the village of Frix lock.
The old stonework right there.
Yeah, I see it for the bridge. Yeah, there's the village over there. What's that? Oh yeah. Yeah, how about it? Looks like an old vending machine company over there on our left. Bunch of old vending soda machines, and coming up on the Frix lock trailhead, and look at this, the place is open. Wow. Look at this. All right. We're gonna pull off here and check this out a little bit more. All right, so you saw there, we came down the path from down where those abutments were down there, and we just pulled in here to the little village of Frix lock, which is now open. And this is going to be a treat for us, but here again is one of these information placards telling you about the trail and the particular area we're in right now. And this is where it currently dead ends, because this shows incomplete, but it is now completed. But this section here is where it's going to stop up around Kenilworth, and eventually it's going to continue on, go under, and meet up with the trail that runs along Industrial Drive there in Pottstown. But I've been wanting to come to this place too for a while and try and explore it, but like I said previously, the gate was closed and it was heavily posted. And here's more information and a whole diagram of all the houses that are along here. So the lock tender's dwelling, where the lock would have been right along there.
Real quick, there's a gate right here.
Okay.
So there's signs on it. We'll have to check and see what the sign
All
says.
right.
We can go past them.
We might not be able to get past down there yet, but at least part of it is open. And you can see there from the board that they have here, there's some old pictures. There's a picture of the house from 1845 with the lock. And you can stop the video and read all this. But so this would have been lock 54 and 55 of the Schuylkill Canal. And on the other side over here, this is again the map of the whole trail when it's going to be completed from Philadelphia all the way up to Pottsville. But they do have bathroom facilities here that are open. They have an area here for you to park your bikes and go under the pavilion. There's a little pavilion there with picnic tables. So they really did a neat job. And just looking from here, I can see the sign down there. There is a sign on the gate straight down there that says private property, no trespassing. So that, and that's Exelon who owns the power plant. So yeah, we are not going to be able to go too much further here, but we'll walk around here real quick and just show you a couple of the houses that are here. All right, so while RJ's up there filming that, keeping an eye on the scooters, I'm just going to come down here real quick and just show you some of the houses that are here. This house here may look like it has doors and windows on it, but it's actually cardboard or something like that to make it look like there's windows and stuff. So this the trailhead here was provided by the DCNR and other organizations there. But down here is this gate, which you can see the power plant right through the trees over there. And there is a gate here, and yeah, trespassers will be prosecuted. And at one point they used to have cameras up along here, but I don't know if they do anymore, and I'm not going to chance it. But from what RJ was saying, there's a website that you can go to, and I'll put that either at the bottom of the screen here or at the or in the description field. But yeah, there is a fence all along there, and it is a heavy fence through the rest of the village. So though according to the website, they do offer guided tours every so often. I guess it's a historical society. So you can go to the website, and if you're interested, inquiring about when they have the tours or something like that, but they will walk you around. The locks should be down in here somewhere where the locks were. I don't know if they're filled in anymore or not, if the remains are still there. But again, it's the wrong time of the year to be looking for this because everything's grown in. But at least this part of it here is open, that you can at least check out a couple of the houses here and see what they look like. Like I said, I'll walk up to this one here, and you can see that it looks like a window, but it's actually not. It's just like some form of cardboard, just for decoration purposes. Maybe at some point, if they get more funding, they will restore these houses a little bit better. But like I said before, you could only get to where the gate is up there, and it was closed and you couldn't get in here. So we're happy just that this part of the village is open, that you can walk around in here and check things out. And that house over there, that looks like they just put brand new windows in that place there and redid the mortar on the bricks. So that's looking really nice. But yeah, this is another unexpected treat. Like I said, would be nice to go down there a little bit further, but we're not going to chance it. All right, so one thing RJ discovered, and I'm sure they're looking at us right now, right up there in the corner, and they have one on the back of the building. Those are cameras up there watching the area, and I'm sure those are the movable kind too, judging from the design of them. But yeah, this area is under surveillance, and it's being watched by the security over there at the power plant. And then that tower that you see right there, that's that red and white tower with the antenna, what looks like antennas on. I believe that has something to do with monitoring the air around the power plant, and has weather stations mounted on it and weather equipment or something like that. Is and I'm sure it does other stuff too that we don't know about. But yeah, there's some, can't see it real well, but there's all kinds of antennas and stuff mounted on that thing. And then this is another look at the parking area here for the Frix trailhead. Nice thing about this is this trailhead's lit up at night with LED lighting, and all the lights here are on solar panels. So that's pretty neat that they got this area lit up here. Something different, something you don't see too often at the trailheads is nighttime lighting. All right, so mission accomplished. If it would be fall, I may come back here in the fall, do some riding or whatever, and show a better of it. But you can see it right there is the bridge where the railroad crossed over the canal, which is right here. So from here on out, it bends, and we are now going to be following the Schuylkill Canal out along here. But at least I got to see the bridge, and the bridge is still there yet. But I really don't think there's any way of getting in there because it looks pretty much overgrown here. But at least I got to see it, and it's still there. So I wish they would have continued the canal, or continued the rail trail to go across that bridge and follow it out along to where that other bridge was that I filmed already, and I had RJ out there the other year. But it doesn't continue that way. It would have been nice if it would have followed the old railroad, but there's still tracks out there at some point going into what used to be the old Firestone property over there, so that's why they didn't continue it that way. But this is pretty neat getting to see this. All right, RJ.
Probably wouldn't hurt to just go knock on their door and see if they were.
RJ had said he had found some laying here. There's a bunch of old railroad ties that are rotted laying along here. In fact, there's one right here. But yeah, you can definitely see right here where the rail bed would have continued on through there. All right, so we did manage to find a little trail coming in off the rail trail, but RJ's back there watching the scooters. But right here is where one of the tracks would have been, and then over here on the other side you can see is where the other track would have been. But we'll walk through here a little bit and go to the other side here and see what we can find. But this is so neat that I was able to find this today, and actually that it's still here yet. All right, so here you can see the bridge and the remains of it. This is on the other side looking out towards the rail trail out there. But there were two tracks going through here at one time, and if you look down in here, There you can see where the canal was at one time, going through there. I had to switch to the phone here because the GoPro was dying, but the canal would have been right along in here. Curved around and went out towards Frix Village, which is right out through there. But yeah, this is pretty neat. I'm just glad that the bridge is here yet, and we were able to document it. All right, so RJ had his Crocs on and he was able to walk through the aqueduct there that goes over the towpath right above there, and the canal would have went over it, and 724 goes over it now. So yeah, he walked through there, went over to the other side, so be sure to go and check out his video and see his perspective of it, because I never ventured through there, but he's got his Crocs on and he was able to. All right, so we made a stop here along the towpath, and this is where I stopped my previous video when I was here about a year or two ago, because I couldn't travel any further because it was all overgrown and trees laying over and stuff like that. But in the beginning of the video you saw that tower line, that old tower line. Well, here's the rest of it, and it goes across over there to the industrial park, and then just goes up over the hill there through the back. But one thing that was in the other video that I think I might have showed, but it's not here anymore because they destroyed it, is a clean out here for the canal. So the canal was right here, and right in here I discovered one of the clean outs, which is basically what they had to let water out of the canal and debris and stuff like that. So there was one here, and there's a piece of black corrugated pipe down there, and they actually dug this up and I guess put the pipe in and destroyed the clean out that was here, because I did walk down there before and looked, and it's all new rock down there and everything. So there's no remains of the clean out there, but I might have shown it in my previous video when I was here, but I can't remember if I did anymore or not. But yeah, there's the old high tension line again, or electric line, whatever you want to call it. All right, so while we're here, real quick, I want to show you guys where the canal would have been. And if it was wintertime, you would be able to see it, but straight through these, straight through the trees there is the canal. So we would be sitting in the canal right now if it would have been here. But like I said, in the wintertime, you can see through there and just see how deep it was here, because it didn't really get filled in over the years. And then the other part of it, where it would have continued on, is straight on through there. So we're going to venture down here, since it's a short ride, and show you where the railroad used to cross down just down the road here. So you can already see the hump in the roadway there. We're coming up on where the railroad crossed over. And right here it would have been. And in fact, you look through the trees right there, you can see a path going through. So I'm sitting actually on the railroad bed itself right here. And then over on the other side over here is the same thing. There is a you can see where it goes through the woods there, the old railroad bed, and there is a sign over there, which I'll put the picture in, saying no trespassing on the property. But that was when the railroad was here, and it's actually a Conrail sign that's over there, which is neat. But the property itself here, when I did the public parcel record on it, it's still owned by Pennsylvania Lines LLC. So whoever Pennsylvania Lines is, that might be the name that the Pennsylvania Railroad went at one time or whatever, but it is still under that name and ownership, this little section of it. There you can see the Limerick generating station in the background there. So We are going to venture back. I don't believe there's any other stops along here that we're going to be making, so we got about another 2 miles back to where we started. We pretty much covered all the areas now that I wanted to in this video, but just enjoy the ride back, and if there's anything else interesting, well, we'll stop and check it out. All right, so RJ, being the eagle eye that he is, when we were up at the Frix Village earlier, we looked on the map that was there of the place, and we saw that down in this area, close to where those pillars, bridge abutments were, where the road went across, we saw markings for another bridge, and wanted to see if we could come down here and find it, because there was a little bit of a trail coming in off the rail trail. So pulled the scooters in here. RJ came in and said he found remains and stuff, so we're going to go and check this out and see what we find. All right, so we ventured down the path that we found here, and we found this old stone culvert here. This is not part of the canal, but yeah, you get around the tree here that you can see it there. But yeah, right down in there, and there's the wall. So the road would have been right here, which we're going to get up on here and see if we can explore this a little bit more. Up there's the fence, so we'll walk up to the fence, see what's there. But here's the
part of the road has been eroded away, so it was a one-lane road.
Yeah, a very narrow road, and wow, eroded away over here, but it is macadam yet, and there is water flowing down there. Yeah, so here is the gate again to get into Frix. Yeah, and looking at it further here, you can see the stone wall here and everything. So this is the bridge that it's referring to on the map there. And over here is the remains of the wall too. So this was the stone bridge, and we saw it on there going over a creek. This is the little creek here before you went into Frix Village up there. So this is the bridge we were actually looking for. It's just basically a culvert. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed that ride we did on the new section of the Schuylkill River Trail here down outside of Parkerford, and enjoyed what we found there in the village of Frix and everything. So if you want more information on the trail, just Google it, Schuylkill River Trail in Google or whatever. I'm not sure the exact address. I'll put it at the bottom of the screen there once I do the editing and everything, and the link will be in the description field. So my thanks to RJ for coming along on this and riding with me since it was the first time on the scooter. I absolutely loved it. Had a great time on this 8-mile round trip, 4 miles either direction. So had a great time with the scooter, and I am very glad that I bought one because they are just so neat to cruise around on. So if you did like the video, you know what to do. Give it the thumbs up and all that other good stuff. And until next time, it's have a ball and do it all. We'll see you soon.